All right, good evening and welcome to the City of Sunbury Finance Committee. It is July 16th, 2025, 6:30 p.m. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mayor St. John.
Here.
Mr. Ayer.
Yes.
Mr. Capel.
Here.
Mr. Ghost.
Here.
Mr. Grumney is absent. Mrs. Cooper.
Here.
Mr. Martin is also absent. 5 present. We have a quorum.
Great. And I'm acting chairperson for the committee. Mr. Grumney is absent this evening. And we did have a meeting on June 18th, looking for a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mrs. Cooper.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ghost. Discussion? Roll call?
Mrs. Cooper.
Yes.
Mr. Ghost.
Yes.
Mayor St. John.
Yes.
Mr. Ayer.
Yes.
Mr. Capel.
Yes.
5 yeas. Motion approved.
Right, next item on the agenda, new and unfinished business 2025 budget amendment number 2. Ms. Steffan.
Yes, thank you. On page 5 of your Finance Committee packet, we have the draft ordinance for the second amended appropriations. This is not on, it is on the agenda for tonight for the first reading. It can go 3 readings as normal, but I wanted to go through what is all included in this appropriations increase. The majority of this is from the sewer fund. We have $900,000 in the sewer fund that we need to appropriate for construction on the wastewater treatment plant, construction administration inspections. And this number was based on the design contract prices for Answer and Accenture, which is about $611,000, and Verdanis, which is another $270,000. And also the cost of the loan documents, just the preparation of the loan to OWDA is about $100,000. So this is all to appropriate those funds. We also have appropriations for the actual wastewater treatment plant, the big one, where most of the money will be coming from. That's already been appropriated, but this is just for the design and other engineering costs ancillary to the project. Also, I have 2 grant programs on here that were not correctly appropriated for 2025 initially, the Walnut Street Stabilization and the Safe Streets for All program. Since these are reimbursable grants, the city needs to front the money and then get reimbursed afterwards. I just neglected to put the appropriations in for the reimbursable part. So that's what this is for. Again, it's all money coming in to offset these appropriations. So this is not new money that we're getting ready to spend, but projects that have already been funded, basically. And the last thing on there is for the Parks and Rec Joint Rec District. And I will before we talk about that, there's a $500,000 transfer from the general fund. And this is just simply to cover the capital costs for the Walnut Street project. So you see that $500,000 there, it's going into Fund 701, which is expending the money on the next page. So it's not 500,000 times 2, it's just the one 500,000 because one's a transfer. So I'll let Daryl speak on the joint.
Yeah, and then the other item we've added to this is a placeholder amount for the Joint Recreation District. I've talked a little bit about this already. We've begun the process of identifying a consultant to assist the Joint Recreation District with the needs assessment and market analysis. As you may remember, this will be a shared cost among the 3 participating jurisdictions, us, Berkshire, and Galena, all based on a proportional expense. So at this point where we stand, we have the request for qualifications. We formed a committee to review the qualifications. In fact, that committee will meet tomorrow to do its evaluation. And then we have a meeting of the Joint Recreation District scheduled for later this month, July 31st, that hopefully we'll be able to take a recommendation to them with some understanding of what the cost associated with the needs assessment will be. If we're not 100% ready, we'll do a special meeting to kind of hurry it up as much as possible in early August. So if we have the number firmed up prior to that, if council does the 3 readings on this, we won't act until August 6th anyway. So we might be able to scrub this number a little bit in our appropriation just to align with what our share would be. So just I don't anticipate that it's $50,000 for the city. Early estimates on what the cost of this assessment might be somewhere in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. Again, we haven't identified the contractor yet, so the scope is not fully identified either. So anyway, so that's what that item is.
What's the breakdown between the sewer plant, wastewater treatment plant? Say like the funding request versus the Little Walnut Creek Interceptor Sewer? And then what's the breakdown of spend by vendor?
The spend by vendor would, for the Walnut Street stabilization, that would all be going to Iron Site.
Right. Just for, sorry, 402, the 900,000.
Just for that one. The breakdown again, is Answer, Accenture, 611,000.
What are they doing?
So, yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you come on up and help with these answers? Turn it on. It's a,
Can you hear me?
there you go.
So the 611,000 is for Answer or Accenture, and they're doing construction inspection. So
No,
daily
wastewater treatment plant?
on the wastewater treatment plant.
So you may think of this as like the owner's rep, the assistant, again, they're just making sure that the city at the end of the day is getting what what's been designed and what do we anticipate, what we're gonna get. Make sure that we get what it is that we're paying for.
Yep, materials on site, installation practices, matching the design set.
Is this included in what we budgeted for when we elected to move forward with this particular plan at $32 million or so total?
So the total ended up being just over 31 million for the construction portion of the wastewater treatment plant. So if 32 is what is considered, then yes, the 611,000 plus the 270,000 for contract administration, which is being done by Verdantis, would be included in that.
Yeah, but let me also be clear though, we didn't borrow the full amount. We ended up borrowing, I think it's 28 million or something like that. It's close to that number. We can get you the exact numbers. So some of these expenses, at the end of the day, the city will be covering as kind of a contribution toward it. And remember, we had, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of $6 million or something in this account. So, yeah, which, has been built up to support an expansion going forward.
Are there any other fees that we can expect besides construction services, owner's rep / inspection, design, and bond financing?
No, not that I can think of. I mean, the permitting that goes along with this work is already included in this cost for anything that would be needed. So unless there would be a massive change order, which can happen on a construction project, although it's not anticipated, that would be the only thing I can think of.
Those are the big buckets, I guess is what I'm saying. There's no additional $500,000, $1 million expenses beyond 31.6 or 32 million.
No.
Yeah, I will say the one thing we will be watching closely though, change orders. So we don't have a lot of contingency in our baseline number, but we do have some. So,
Yes.
so a few minor change orders can be accommodated within that amount.
And then the other 289,000 is going to Verdantis for Little Walnut Creek's Interceptor design phase 3. Is that correct?
I think the 270,000 is for Verdantis for the wastewater treatment plant. That's an additional amount for the plant.
Yeah, 280.
I think you're taking the 900,000 minus 611.
That's correct.
Yeah, so the 900,000, it's actually 981,000 is the full amount, but I didn't want to appropriate that full amount. Well, we don't have that much in the fund. But 611 for Answer, 270 for Verdantis, and 100 for the OWDA loan fee. Those are the three amounts.
When it says construction and LWCI, what components?
I'm so sorry. That's what's
Okay.
confusing you, I'm sure.
Yes.
That LWCI shouldn't be there. My
Additional expenses.
My mistake. No, not that I'm aware of. No, there's no design or anything for the Little Walnut Creek Interceptor Phase 2. We probably don't know those at this time.
Yes, but those are separate contracts and not associated with the wastewater treatment plant.
Right. But for clarification on this ordinance, I'll remove the LWCI because that's not appropriate there.
Is there any other supporting documentation in the council packet that breaks that out any further?
No, there isn't. I can put something together for next council meeting.
Thank you. Apologies for the 20 questions.
Yeah, that's,
A big number.
It's a lot of money
Very
to.
big.
is.
yeah. And maybe just a little bit more on the Verdantis piece. So they provide construction administration.
Yes,
So
so
they're looking,
contract or construction administration. So essentially, Verdantis CT Consultants had delivered the design aspect of this treatment plant over the course of multiple years. In order to have the contractor submit the documentations to verify that what they want to provide on site is going to meet the design expectations, we thought there would be a benefit there in having Verdantis continue with that part of the document administration instead of hiring someone on and having them get caught up to speed on the project.
and another thing they'll do is if there are RFIs, requests for, is it information? Is that,
Information,
yeah. So if there's if the contractor has a question on the design during the construction period, it's the design consultant assists us with whatever, the interpretation, clarifications, that's all part of what they're trying to do here.
That's right. So if they also have a proposal that they'd like to change in the field, that then goes back to the design consultant to see if it meets an as equals representation of what they need to be doing. And we get an opinion.
What's normal for the cost of change orders?
It varies widely. Oftentimes when I see change orders on construction projects, it may be in the 5 to 10% range, which on this type of project is huge. But at the same time, change orders can go the opposite way as well, where they'll come back and something will be less expensive than anticipated. And oftentimes those costs even out. So contingency, which we have very little of on this project, unless there's a major problem on a construction site, you typically don't get into that contingency.
Roughly, how many change orders is normal? Like 3?
For over the course of 2.5 years, it will be more than 3, most likely.
Two other items. One, Dana, one thing you said scared me. I thought you said we don't have enough in the sewer budget to cover the $81,000 gap.
That is true. We do have roughly 5 or 6 million in the fund. A lot of that's been appropriated for the construction project as well right now. That's why since it's appropriated for this year, I can't unappropriate those funds and move them. Whatever is not spent this year, of course, will stay in the fund. So that's all that is.
Yeah, but the fund also grows as well, right? I mean, so that's
Right.
where the tap fees are going into that account as well. So it's
Yes.
a dynamic fund.
It is. It's always, every month it's increasing.
Should that be reflected in the page 15 encumbered versus unencumbered? Right now it's showing we have
Right.
5.9 million unencumbered.
That's a great observation. And the reason that it's so high is because I hadn't appropriated those funds until the month of July. So this is going through the month of June. So when I was actually looking at that today as I was going through the financials, running that year-to-date fund report for the month of June and July, it's drastically different because of that.
I don't like drastically as a word in council.
Won't use it again.
Okay. Sweating right now. All right, let's switch gears to JRD. Can we have a JRD member or two from Sunbury come in and speak to the $50,000 and provide an update to city council?
Yeah, I'm trying to line them up with the meeting on the 31st. So, I mean, it'll be a relatively light agenda anyway, so. if I can get our two members there.
Any other comments on budget amendment number 2? All right, next item on the agenda, year-to-date comparison reports.
Starting on page 7 of your packet, we have the year-to-date revenue report. And this is a nice time to look at the report, in my opinion, because we're looking at 6 months out of 12. So we have exactly half of the year to look back and see how we're doing. We've collected half of the real estate property taxes. We've collected half of our SRO funding for the year. So everything is in place as we expect it. Nothing major to call out on the revenues here. So there's lots of notes in there on what's being collected. Oh, I will point out we are receiving our stormwater fee revenue for the first time in June. So that is hitting the account on page 7. Stormwater fee revenue is right in the middle of your page for $5,500. That's for Kiwi's Clubhouse. So we're going to see that account get built up as we receive more funds from stormwater fees. And then it's all the typical receipts that we've been going through every finance committee. For the impact fees, I'll touch on those briefly. We've had 73 new homes year to date paying impact fees, impact fees. Are you hearing that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Out there. Oh, is it that motorcycle?
Maybe.
You never know anymore. You got.
So I was talking about impact fees, and we've had 73 new homes year to date paying impact fees, also collecting impact fees from Kiwi's Clubhouse and Ohashi. So those are going in where they need to be. We've also received about $40,000 in reimbursable for the Safe Streets for All grant. So we'll continue to collect money on that. Is there anything else? That's about it for the revenues. If there's no questions on revenues, I'll move on to expenses.
Questions on revenues?
Karen beer tax looks like it's doing well.
Great. Glad to see that you saw something there. Yes, we do. We did just receive that, I believe, in June. So that's it's definitely increased, or it's over what we budgeted. So that's always good. On to the expenses. These start on page 10 of your packet. And I'll go through all the highlighted ones. These are all of the ones that we identified to be significant enough to discuss. The towing expenses were a little higher than what we've expected because we've had 19 vehicles towed year to date. It's just a hard number to guess, so it's going to fluctuate. Cruiser repair, we are about 69% spent. We did have a large amount in tires spent this month, so that's what's driving that. Going down to street lighting, I know I've mentioned in the past the low electric cost that was meant for 2024, so that's why that one is so high. Traffic signals, it has to do with energy costs, so I may need to increase that appropriation there. Contractual services for admin, where we've spent 1.1 million. It's the very bottom of page 10. I have listed out all of the projects that we are paying, and the majority of this is for the east side utilities, which is about 300,000. Also a list of projects under there, all paid to Verdanis. You can see the year-to-date that we've spent on those. And some other ones down at the bottom there. The largest one to speak of is the bridge sign for ODOT. We paid $345,900 for that. And also legal fees, economic development fees, it's all in there. You can see what we've been spending. That's always the biggest one, so I'll let you look through it. If there are any questions, I'll take them.
The bridge and sign, 345,000 there, Dane, is that Will that be the be all end all, or will there be any more expenses on that?
That's it.
Yeah, it's because I don't anticipate anymore.
Okay.
That's the bid price they got.
Okay, on the next page, we have supplies. And we're about 61% spent, so we are a little high there, so that'll be monitored for the remainder of the year. Nothing in that account looks like it's out of the ordinary, so I'll just continue to monitor. And then at the bottom of page 11, we have auditors and treasurers fees that are 88% spent. I don't anticipate much more coming out of this account for the year. There will be a small amount for the second half of the property taxes that'll be paid in September, October, but that shouldn't be anything to explode the budget. On page 12, the first highlighted item there is for street travel. It's a small amount, but it is above our threshold. It's just for training for street staff licensures. Directly below that, contractual services for street department, we're about 62% spent. The majority of this is for engineering, and we did have some large engineering costs for the rectangular rapid flashing beacons, the RRFBs, 2 of those. That's what's driving that expense in that line. And then that's all for the general fund. Then when we go down to the street fund, Fund 201, there are 2 items highlighted in that fund. Talk about those briefly. So for contractual services, we're about 83.6% spent. And this is all related to the Safe Streets for All. And again, it's reimbursable. So I have that indicated on the far right column there, that it is reimbursable. And also debt service. We did pay the OPWC debt on these, and it's paid for the year. On page 13, the first highlighted item is for cemetery. We had an early payoff on the cemetery bonds. We took care of that in the end of June, beginning of July. So that is fully spent and we won't owe any more money on those bonds. It is completely paid off. Then we go down into the sewer fund, Fund 402. We've got some contractual services fully spent in capital sewer billing. That was all for the sewer rate study. I know I've mentioned that in the past. Down in the very bottom line that's highlighted there, we're about 84.4% spent. And the majority of this is on the Little Walnut Creek Interceptor engineering and also some for wastewater treatment plant engineering. So we've had some spend already on those, and that's listed there on that column for you. And that's it. Those are all the items that I had identified to discuss, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? All right, thank you. Let's move on to bank to book reconciliation.
Going back to the first page. Our total bank balance of all of our accounts at the end of June was $21,800,111.41. You can see the breakdown between or among the 3 different accounts that we have there. Outstanding checks total about $357,000, are bringing our bank balance to $21,442,000, and our book balance slightly less than that, with a variance of $66,000. All of the variance items have been identified, and I can provide a copy upon request if desired. Check register, of course, is on pages 16 through the end of your packet. So you can see all of the memo expenses and the checks that were written during the month of June. If you have any questions on any of that, to get you an answer.
These checks and ACH or just
Yes.
physical checks?
It's all checks and ACH,
Okay.
everything.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Those are some big dollar amounts on the checks. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, you will see some large checks to Verdanus mostly in this month, I believe.
They don't like ACH.
I should probably start sending them ACH.
Treasurer of State, 345,000.
That is the bridge sign.
Yeah.
That's right. I just
Yep.
thought the number would look familiar.
Stuck out twice to you.
Yeah, and you'll see there's a big one for Iron Site as well, 239,000. That's the Walnut Street stabilization.
We have not been reimbursed yet.
I just submitted a reimbursement for that amount today.
Okay.
When we have a previous reimbursement already sent.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, those large ones are for CT.
Is it, going back to page 15, the, let's just say the fund report, is it fair to say that we're gonna be somewhere in the $7 to $8 million unencumbered when we look at this in July?
Yes.
Thank you. Any questions?
Estate of Ronnie Steeman.
Yes. The estate, so Mr. Steeman passed away and he was one of the beneficiaries on or owners of the cemetery bond. And so the payments to Mr. Steeman were then being sent to his estate.
About Alice Tozer.
She's the second owner of the cemetery. I believe they're siblings.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, they're exactly the same.
Any other questions, comments? All right, let's talk about year-to-date income tax.
Yes. The chart is looking good, continuing to increase in every column or every category, I should say. So we're sitting at $3,082,312 right now through June. So we are on track to exceed our budget of $6 million. And I will say what we've received in the month of July is even nicer. So you haven't seen those numbers yet on here, but next month you'll see those. So all the categories are increasing roughly. The net profit seems to go up and down depending on how businesses are doing in the area. But all indications are things are going well and continuing to go well.
Question on that percent change number, Dana, is that the percent change from 2024 to 2025, or is that the change over the budget that you?
It's year to year. It's year over year. So from 24 to 25.
Looking at the same period. So
Correct.
like end of month June 24 compared to end of month June 25.
Exactly.
Looking good.
Any questions? All right. Do you want to hit on bank balances?
Oh, I did mention the bank balances and the bank to book reconciliation. So if anyone has more questions on that, I can answer.
Filter.
Any other new and unfinished business finance related? Our next meeting is August 20th, 2025. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second by Mr. Capel. Discussion. Roll call.
Mayor St. John,
Yes.
Mr. Capel.
Yes.
Mr. Ayer,
Yes.
Mr. Ghost,
Yes.
Mrs. Cooper.
Yes.
5 yeas, we are adjourned.
Thank you.